Welcome to Your Life Now radio show, where your life matters. Your host, Coach Rhea, is a certified professional life coach with a passion to help make the difference in the world. Your Life Now radio show brings you powerful resources and effective tips to help you live your best life ever. And now, here's your host, Coach Rhea.
Hello, welcome my friends. I am your host, Coach Rhea. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you are listening to the show live, archive, or if you have downloaded the show on iTunes or from the Stitcher app. Thank you all. Much love to you. Just a quick reminder, I am the founder and the CEO of Your Life Now. It's a professional life coaching and training company. On this show, we try to cover a lot of different topics related to our everyday life on a personal as well as a professional level. I am really looking forward to all the great guests we have lined up for you so they can give you and share with you a lot of helpful tips and information. So this show is intended to be thought-provoking and for information purpose. All the guests that come on the show are professional in their field, and you are welcome to contact them directly from the information I provide on the show page. And you can also contact me directly if you like by visiting my website at www.coachingbyria.com. That's at www.coachingbyria.com, and I can provide you with all the information you need. But just quickly, before we get the guest on the air, I like to set my intention. As always, my intention of hosting this show is to inspire you. I like to inspire you to make some positive changes in your life so you can live the life that you desire. It's really up to you. So all I ask of you on the show is to have an open mind and an open heart. Take what is useful for you and question everything. It's your life, so why don't you live it your way? And remember, every day is a new day. Every moment is a gift. Every moment is a new moment. So make the best of every moment. Make the best of every day and celebrate it as a brand new day this year. So let's make it a fabulous one. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll bring on our guest for today. So please stay tuned. Thank you.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Rhea will return in just a few moments.
Welcome back, my friends. You are listening to Your Life Now radio show. I am so delighted, as always, to be here with you, whether you are listening to the show live or archive. Always, always grateful for you guys. Today I'm doing a special show celebrating my 3 years anniversary on the air, and I'm going to share with you my first interview on the air in 2011, March of 2011, with my dear friend, Dr. Shamim Sadiq. And we talked about harmony. We talked about how to find harmony in our life, in everyday life. And we came a long way since 2011. And, I improved. It was my first show on the air. And, it's amazing. I was inspired to do this show 3 years ago to give back, to help you look at your life. I wanted to do it with the intention to help inspire you, to take a look at your life, to take a close look at your life and see if there's something you can change, something you can get rid of, something new you can implement in your life so you can live the life that it's your birthright, the life that you desire, the life that you want. So, don't cut yourself short. And with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take a little short break. And when I come back, I wanted to share with you my first interview on the air 3 years ago in 2011, March of 2011, with Dr. Shamim Sadiq. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Rhea will return in just a few moments.
Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Coach Ria. Thank you for joining me. Our today's topic is related to our everyday life on a personal level and professional level. In my practice as a personal and professional life coach and as a human being, I can relate to all the things that we will be discussing on this show. My intention from having this show is to make it informative and fun. And our topic for discussion today is how to find harmony with things we have to do in our daily life and to find balance when things seem to be too much to handle. I'd like to welcome my guest for today's topic, Dr. Shamim Sadiq. Dr. Shamim is a good friend of mine. She's the author of the book, Aim Vertically, Not Horizontally. I have a link to Amazon for the book. It's a great book. I really recommend you check it out. She is a physician by profession, a seeker of true purpose of life. Shamim was born in a beautiful valley of Kashmir, India. She is one of 5 siblings, raised with excellent family values, with her father being a role model in every aspect of her life, from hard work to dedication, to learning to detach and let go when things look impossible. And, of course, trust in God no matter what. She graduated from medical school in Kashmir, India, but always had the curiosity to explore the world and understand the universal thought process about the meaning of life. Even though she traveled overseas, she realized that was not the traveling across the continent, it's the traveling to your inner journey within to find your purpose of your life. Shamim continued to work on balance of life by giving her profession her best and detach from external world when she is behind closed door with her family. Love, compassion, forgiveness is her motto. I'm going to quote some of her inspirational quotes that she likes. She quotes, "Let go of things which you fail to understand. Learn to give and give more. Forgive people who have hurt you and move on. And if possible, try to forget." End of quote. Welcome, Shamim. I am so glad you are here. Shamim, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks a lot.
Hi.
I'm honored to be on your show, too. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Oh, you are such a wonderful person. I think you are a great inspiration to all of us, and that's why I thought, it would be a great way to, open my show. I am new to Blog Talk Radio, and I will do my best to make sure the show is informative and fun for all of my listeners. And, again, I want to thank you for being here. I'm going to jump right into the topic.
Sure.
We are discussing how to find balance and life in harmony in all the things that we do in everyday life. And I know as a professional, person, you are a physician, you're a doctor, you have a family. Can we start, by looking into this and see how, we explore the subject? What do you think, why do things get out of control in our life? What do you think?
That's a question that will need answer in details, but I'll try to keep it brief and precise as much as possible. My strong motto in life is that life is a journey, it's not a destination. I keep applying that to my life every single day when I get in ups and downs of life. What it does is it helps us keep our perspective and handle life moment to moment. And when we do that, we can change our baggage or whatever we carry from making it look like a load of garbage to, okay, we tell ourselves, I'm going to take life one moment at a time. And when we do that, we prioritize these attachments or pain or stress or whatever you want to call it. And in this process, we voluntarily detach ourselves from these attachments, which, by the way, half the times are perceptions or fears only, that most of the time don't happen in our lives, but then they
True.
lead us in that way.
True.
So what we need
because
to do
we're already
is
thinking and worrying about it, and it's not even happening as of yet in this moment. But it's really difficult. I mean, I can relate to it. I don't know if one of my clients will be listening today that we were talking about this, about finding balance, and he's like, how do you shut things down? How do you shut them off? How do you leave work behind, and then when you go home, you focus on whatever it is that you enjoy doing, your family or whatever. But it seems a lot of us, especially when you have a lot of responsibility in your professional career, you take that with you home. You always working, you constantly, and then, you have to realize we don't live to work, we work to live, right?
To live, that's right.
Right. So, but I mean, how do you separate what one must do when things seem to be too much to handle?
Well, we basically have to take control of our life, or rather go with the flow of life. We have to keep telling ourselves periodically, I choose not to resist. At least do it on a daily basis. Make it your mantra or a self-talk by saying things like, today I choose not to resist. You need to change your negative perceptions or fears. Change them into positive affirmations by banking on all the good things you have or you have already accomplished. When you do that, the problem becomes very minuscule and you have better control at handling it. And before you know, your mind says, okay, next. And that's how journey of life works. There is no
unfortunately, I wish
tomorrow.
it was that easy. Yeah. I mean, I totally understand what you're saying, but I mean, like, in my coaching practice, I hear all the time, and people get so frustrated, and I try to pinpoint it the way you did. It's just people, first of all, they can't find that stillness. They can't, we have to appreciate what we have in order for us to get more, right? And first of all.
That's right.
And when
there is no guarantee tomorrow. There's no way to change your past. But what is only guaranteed is your now, and that is totally in your control. And when you live in the now, it puts a lot of things in perspective. Your past won't haunt you, and your future won't scare you when you live in the now, because you've detached yourself from all the demons, the baggage, the fear, and you just learn to enjoy now for what it is, whether it's at work or as a kind soul source with your family.
Shamim, I have somebody on the line. I wonder if they have a question for either one of us.
Okay.
Would you mind if I get them on the line?
Oh, no, go ahead. Sure.
Okay. Hi, this is 908-864. You're on the air? Hi. Oh, hello. How are you?
To both Coach Ria and Dr. Sadiq. It's a great show. I'm a fan of blog radio, and it's great to see good stuff on it. I was listening to the first few minutes, and it occurred to me, or a question occurred to me, to ask Dr. Sadiq whether there are things you can do to sort of practice so that you can bring that sort of that mindset that you just described, take life one moment at a time. Tried it. And sometimes it's hard to do because there are distractions and we keep getting sort of pulled back into the anxieties that we have. And I'm wondering if there's just some practice things, very practical things that people can do to sort of help train your mind so that you can be as focused as you suggest.
Absolutely. Like you said, things get out of control when there are either external circumstances or our self-created circumstances, which sometimes shake our comfort zone, our constitution, and that's when our body or our mind develops this urge to fight back, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally. And what happens in this tug of war is we reinforce more pain in our emotional brain. And that is the brain that thrives on these situations. So it will try whatever circumstances it gets to, pile up more baggage and more pain in your pain body in the brain to the point that your brain gets overwhelmed and you can't handle it anymore. The trick of getting rid of this pain body is to be in the awareness. And the awareness is when unfortunately it's not an overnight miracle, but it's a process of learned behavior. And like daily chores, it needs work, it needs practice. Of course, like I said, you have to start with awareness. You have to look the pain in the eye. You don't have to resist it. You don't have to fight it back. You have to calm it down. You have to soothe it. You don't have to give it the material that it thrives on, which is pain, which is anger, which is frustration, because that indirectly makes it more vicious. And when you don't give it that material to thrive on, gradually it fades away. In our medical terminology, we call it diffuse atrophy. That is when you don't use a certain thing, with time it fades away. Of course, there are different approaches of doing it. People pray. For me, prayer works. Meditation works. Self-talk worked, or sometimes just sitting still and letting these flow of thoughts or clutter come in your mind and not doing anything about it. And you'll realize that, that emotional pain body that is just running negative thoughts in your mind after some time fades away because it doesn't get that material to thrive on. It's like, okay, let me go somewhere else. Let me find somebody else where I can get, call it devil, call it emotional pain body, call it resistance. Different people have different names for that part of the brain which thrives on these things. So I think there's no clear-cut path that this is going to work for me or this is going to work for the other person. Whatever that inner voice tells you, if you go by that voice and listen to it and calm that emotional clutter, it will guide you the proper way. It's different for different people. I don't know what works for you, but you have to sit still and listen to that inner voice to calm this external clutter or external emotional pain body. And, of course, like I said, it needs a lot of practice. We are humans. We are not perfect. We'll have situations where we'll be overwhelmed to the point that we will keep doing these things and get lost in the rat race. So how do you break that pattern? Depends on what is that voice that's inside you that helps you break from that pattern. And it works differently for different people. Everybody has his own way of trying things. But the trick is you have to keep doing it repeatedly till it replaces the old thought. So that's
Shamim, do you mind if I share some of the things that you said in the article you sent me?
Oh, no, please go ahead.
Okay. In your article you sent me, you talked about stillness. You talked about how to, when you're looking for an answer, you got to listen, within, and you got to do it through stillness. But this is what you said in quote. You said, feel my aura, calmness, my presence. I am here now without attachment. Stay calm, not judgmental in the now. Practice that when you're sucked by worldly clutter. Open that inner light, and when you feel that inner aura shining through you, let go of your wings and fly, and go touch other lives. And when done, come back to the ground. Stay still till you get the opportunity to touch other lives and situations. I love that. I just like, in the code. I mean, it's like you said the purpose of your life, balance of both worlds. You got to find balance, and that's the key. I think that's what most of us, struggle with, and that's what I always try to teach through my practice is like, how do people can find a balance? And I mentioned to them, please correct me if you think, otherwise. I feel if we can create a bigger gap in our thoughts, because, obviously we need our thoughts because that tells us we are alive, right? So if we are thinking, we are alive. And but the gap that we can create between the thoughts, that's what's going to bring us to that balance between the different worlds, our external world and internal world, and what we truly want. And so can you elaborate on that? What do you feel, what's your thought about that?
Yeah. Absolutely. This was the butterfly was just a metaphor, basically. I wrote this article a few days ago because I've gone through my journey. I mean, I've gone through my processes where I've, struggled between the material world and the spiritual world, where I've felt like I'm in crossroads, and I would be like, okay, do I need to be in the spiritual world and detach myself from the worldly world, or do I go back and just continue doing what I'm doing? Till this, this voice inside me in the form of a butterfly just touched the palm of my hand. And when I looked at it in a non-judgmental way, I realized that it was bringing so much peace in my life. It was touching my life, keeping me calm, keeping me happy in the moment. And the message that it was sending me was that when you're lost in that worldly clutter, stay still. Listen to that inner voice. Listen to that butterfly. Listen to that inner child. And you'll calm that clutter. And when your clarity or vision becomes better, get out. Go help change lives. Make a difference in people's lives. Like a butterfly, you will have to be going back and forth between both the worldly world and the spiritual world. When you're lost in the worldly clutter, stay still and clear your vision. And when you have a bigger, better perspective, go touch lives. Go spread your wings and touch other people's lives. And this is what the balance of life is all about. This is your journey. It will keep happening back and forth till your mission from this world is over, and you merge with eternity. So you can completely detach yourself from the universe, but at the same time you can't say, oh, I have to let go of this material world and go into a spiritual world, because, again, it's about balance. You were brought as human beings into this world for a certain purpose. So balance of life is very important.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Rhea will return in just a few moments.
Welcome back, my friends. Today we have a special show. We are celebrating our 3-year anniversary on the air, and I'm bringing to you my first ever show in 2011, March of 2011, with my dear friend Dr. Shamim Sadiq, and we were talking about harmony, how to find balance in life, and it was a great interview. Of course, we came a long way since 2011, and I'm so grateful. I'm still inspired to do this show and inspire you to take a look at your life with the intention to help you hopefully make some positive changes so you can live the life that you desire. So now we're going to continue our discussion with Dr. Shamim Sadiq, and from my interview with her back in 2011, March of 2011. So thanks again for being here, guys.
I mean, being grounded, grounding yourself, that's the key. I had started practicing meditation. I constantly, can also, practice meditation. And I can tell you it makes a huge, huge difference in my life. And I feel out of balance if I miss a day. I need that stillness. I need that, the silent within to kind of hear what is it that I really need to be doing next. Without, it's a time for you to detach. If we can look at it that way, we can find so many things to distract us. There is plenty of things to distract us. So, if we can just take a few moments. I do a lot of practices like where before I get out of bed, I don't get out of bed till I spend at least 5-10 minutes closing my eyes and just be. Just be. I lay down in my bed. I don't get up because that 10 minutes isn't going to make or change the world. It's just for me to get ready for that day. I think simple practices like this can really make a difference in our life. I know the subject is really huge. I know we can spend a lot of time talking about it, but it's really important. My whole thing about starting this talk show is to really reach out and start to discuss things that are important to all of us. How do we live a quality life? Where do we begin?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's different for different people. Like you said, for you, meditation is important. For me, prayers are important. Some people use deep breathing exercises. Some just sit still, do nothing. Some self-talk. Whatever gets you there, there is no specific route. I personally call it faith. I call it my personal time with God or Almighty, where I feel like I'm having a conversation with Him, and it clears a lot of my perceptions. And then when I'm clear, I go back to the physical world and deal with the next project waiting for me. So it's that inner time with your butterfly, you want to call it, a flower inside yourself, an inner child, a voice, whatever you want to call it. But it's that because that inner child will keep echoing honest stuff to you periodically, but sometimes with this daily overwhelm, we get so busy that we brush it away. But when we sit still amidst this daily clutter, we let that butterfly, that voice, the child speak loud and clear and bring forward our core message, our real purpose, our honesty, what our life is really about. And suddenly we see there's a big smile on our face, and we end up saying loudly, that is what I always wanted to do. So that's what I feel whenever I sit still and I talk to my inner self. And different people have different ways. Whatever can get you there, just hear that inner voice. That is
yeah,
my
I mean,
advice.
self-talk is very important. It's like, how do you talk to yourself? What do you say when you talk to yourself? What kind of dialogue do you have with yourself?
Doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. You don't have to have, like, the most beautiful language. You can just
No, but
say
I'm just
anything.
saying, I mean, you got to connect with what's going on in you. You know, what are you telling yourself? What are you bringing out to that world that you live in, that you feel, you know, oh, well, I have nothing to do with this. Well, you know, obviously we all know everything in our life shows up because we had something to do with it, right?
That's right.
That's the inner dialogue that we are, you know, I mean, I'm not getting into, you know, law of attraction and all those things, but what I'm saying is what we put in our mind, it's what we bring to our life. I mean, this is so true. So when you try to connect with that inner you, that wonderful you, to realize what you're capable of, what your possibility is, through stillness, through calming of the mind, you are better to yourself and to the world around you, period. You can get more. You accomplish more. You deliver better. So anyway, I want to just remind our caller, I know this is only half an hour show, and it seems like I should make it an hour show because I think we can have a long discussion about the subject. But the call-in number again is 626-213-5773. We only have a few minutes left, and I do want to end the show with a couple minutes of deep breath relaxation. Shamim, anything else that you feel, you know, our listener can benefit from regarding this?
Well, I just want to let you know that I am no superhuman being. I've made a lot of mistakes. I continue making mistakes. I'm not the perfect person in this world. And if it adds some perspective in your life, I recently went through some not such pleasant period. It was a painful period that now, in retrospect, has changed my perspective even better. Because there were times I would get lost in the rat race, that I didn't give time to that inner voice, which kept giving me warnings, signals to listen to it. And I guess I was busy in my external world that I didn't have time for it, only to realize later on that it had to crash me before I woke up. But like they say, better late than never. And now I'm back on track. Again, no guarantees that it's going to be a smooth sailing, but it helps me to reinforce that thought again and again that I need to live in the now as much as possible. I need to appreciate life more. I need to let go of the past. I need to be hopeful of future, acknowledge people around me, acknowledge myself, and work on life one day at a time, irrespective of what's the goal for me. So that's,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's, you know.
No, I was going to say from your inspirational quote that you quoted. I mean, it's the thing is that I noticed again with with some of my clients, even the people that I come encounter with. I used to be a victim of it, which, you know, that's one of the mentalities that most of us play, is the victim mentality. You have to understand that your past is your history. It's history. It's past. It's gone. You have to detach from that and bring yourself back to the present. Because when you think about your past, you are thinking about it right now. And when you worry about your future, you worry about it right now. So the key is, how do I bring myself to be in the present moment until you realize whatever happened an hour ago, 2 hours ago, yesterday, a month, 2 years, whatever it is, it's something that maybe I'll take something from it that will teach me to be a better person or better whatever, and move on. Forget, like you said, let go of things which you fail to understand, and then forgive people who have hurt you. I know I read something about you, talked about the past, but anyway, but that's the key. You gotta forget about the past and stop playing the victim. I mean, I know it's easy said, because when we're in the situation, it's hard to evaluate it, correct?
True. It's all about letting go of attachments, whether they're small or big. The more you practice of letting go of attachments, the easier your life becomes. And unfortunately, yes, sometimes there are circumstances that are not in your control, but that's where you live in the now and you prioritize and say, okay, I'm just going to deal it. And don't be hard on yourself, because sometimes things happen the way you want them and sometimes you didn't. But when you give it your best, you can always look back and in retrospect you say, oh, I did the best I could under those circumstances. Maybe I'm supposed to take a different route. I think I did fine. I shouldn't, stay stuck in the past. Maybe I have something better in life ahead of me. So just keep your options open for future, and when you live in the now, it's not as painful. I know we don't have enough time, but
I know, and I was going to do the breathing meditation, but hopefully we'll do a next show. But I'm enjoying your conversation, and I think I want to apologize to the people in the chat room because I am new to this, and I see a lot of people typing and writing things that I can't reply and try to pay attention. I mean, I think half an hour was not enough, and I think this is, I really hope that you can come back and talk with us again and explore this topic.
Sure.
Or, life in general. I think, that's the name of my show. Your Life Now is the name of my business, and it's all about how we can help each other live a better life in general. But in conclusion, let's try to wrap up this, Shamim, before, we got 3 minutes left. And I'd like to leave our listener with something to take with that and hopefully, try to implement it in their life. What do you say to that?
Okay, yeah, I want to end it briefly with another perspective I got this morning. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and she wanted to listen to nursery rhymes this morning. So she got all these CDs, God knows from where, and she says, Mom, I want you to listen to this one. And it was, have you heard of that rhyme that says, found a peanut, ate a peanut just now, found out that the peanut was rotten, and then he dies. He says, went to heaven and met God. So he goes through this whole charade of singing that he picked up a peanut, he ate the peanut, later on found out the peanut was rotten. Long story short, he dies and goes to heaven. But I was seeing my daughter was enjoying that song because I realized later on it was free from attachments. She was not thinking of it as a rotten peanut. She was just like, it's a song, I'm enjoying it. So what, rotten peanut? I'm going to meet God. So that's the perspective it brought to my mind was, if children cannot have attachments and enjoy life, why can't we adults think of it that way? Why can't we let go of these attachments and just accept good and bad as it comes? Because someday we will die. And when we die, we're going to meet God. So we're still going to go to a better place. Why can't we just accept life as a journey and say that whatever comes our way, whether it's a rotten peanut, okay, suck it up, eat it, then move on. It's a good peanut. Yeah, I enjoyed it. So I think that I was like, I started singing it loud in my car, and what I realized, I'm like, I was turning into an 8-year-old too. And I felt free and liberated. I was like, so what? I'm going to eat a peanut, I'm going to die, and I'm going to meet God. So that's where I want to end it, saying that, again, because it was free of attachment. I didn't have any baggage attached to it, so I was just enjoying the song like an 8-year-old was.
Right.
So,
and that's amazing. And thank you for ending on this note. And I don't think it's a beginning to to an end or whatever. I don't know how to exactly. But what I really want to say that I will have Dr. Shamim again because I love her and I love her thoughts and the way she thinks and what she has to say. And obviously we did not have enough time to go over a lot more things with her and discuss a lot of things. But Shamim, I'm so grateful that you came in on the show. I'm grateful for the people who are listening. And please comment on the show. Let me know how I can improve on it. What are some of the things that you would like to have me discuss in future shows? Remember, this show is about you. It's about life. It's about everything that we deal with on our daily life. I like to help better this world one person at a time. And I'll leave you with this breathing meditation. It was all worth the time, Shamim. Thank you again, my friend. Take care, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, honey.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Rhea will return in just a few moments.
feeling better than before, and this is so. 4, 5. Your eyes are open. You're feeling fine and ready for the remaining of the day. Wow, thank you, my friends. Of course, that concludes the show for today. Of course, we had a special encore of my interview with Dr. Shamim Sadiq from 2011, March of 2011, because we are celebrating our 3 years anniversary on the air, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for each one of you guys for listening to the show live, archived, downloading the show, supporting the show, contacting me, reaching out to me. I love you all. You are amazing, just the way you are, and I'm grateful for you. I just wanted to remind you, follow the show for up-to-date information. And then if you want any suggestion or any comment or any question, contact me, connect with me on Facebook, on Twitter. Go to my website, send me a request to talk to you. I'm available anytime, anywhere. You are not too far. You're only a call away or a contact away. So until next time, my friend, stay amazing and much love. And, remember, the show is all about today, inspiring you to be the best that you can be in your own eyes, for yourself, not for anyone else. Let go of all these attachments in our life. That's one of the show we talked about, how to find balance. Live in the now. Liberate yourself. Detach. Don't be a victim. Be a leader in your life, because you deserve it. Much love. Until next time.
Are you ready to put an end to thinking about how you wish it were and take action? Take this step to find out more by going to coachingbyria.com, and you can receive your free consultation session with Coach Ria. Coach Ria is a certified professional life coach with a passion to help make the difference in the world.